We're working on a Picnics Plus system development project. We're Team 1. The goal of this project is to help increase sales and to provide you with the database support for your operations. My name is Charles Romine. I'm the project manager.
I'm Tim, the system analysis.
I'm Jen. I'm the second system analyst.
I'm Yuha. I'm the database analyst.
Okay, I'm going to go over what we're going to cover today. We're going to start with an introduction, and then we're going to go over an objective and scope. And then we're going to go over the baseline, alternatives, and feasibility analysis. And then we're going to go over risks and uncertainties, standards, and other procedures. Next, I'm going to hand it off to Jane with a brief intro.
Okay, thanks, Charles. Okay, brief introduction about Picnics Plus. You are a catering operation and your private-owned company. And basically, your year-round operation and 7% of your revenue comes from the summer picnics. So you are looking for a better customer service and more efficient working process. So now that we know your need is efficiency, we would set our project objectives as you can see, it's improve the response time for cost estimates and get all cost information right after an event. Okay, it's quite clear. So according to the objectives, we can give a brief description to the project. It should be a creation of a cost estimation system by which the Picnic Plus can input all the information, their customer information, and the system will automatically output cost reports to them. Okay, it sounds great, but to make it a little bit more clear, we need to make some assumptions to the project scope. First, we would assume the duration of the project to be 3 months, which I think also indicate our team's working efficiency because it's only built by us four, and we're using software like MySQL and PHP. We're already expert. Okay, and the interface. This system is going to have a web interface. It means you can operate it by using a web browser. Okay, so now you know what the idea is. Next step is going to judge its feasibility. So I will pass on to Charles again to talk about that.
Thank you. I'll start with the baseline for our first style, which would be the MySQL and PHP approach. To start off, we have some more assumptions for our baseline. First, we're going to work the same amount of effort on this, so we have the same amount of hours, and we also get the same wage. So doing this, we have more of a uniform estimate. Our estimate is that there'll be an initial cost for our baseline of $48,000. More estimates on our baseline, and these extend to the other options as well. Our discount rate will be 10%. The system horizon will be over 3 years, and the baseline recurring cost, we're switching back to the baseline now. The baseline recurring cost will be about $4,000 per year of maintenance, and the baseline cost, as I said before, is calculated like that, will be $48,000. Moving on, we're going to talk about Alternative 1. It's an Excel-based boilerplate system where we're basically going to make an Excel program and you can update it yourself. And this is going to have a very low initial cost, but the disadvantage is that it's not going to have any database functions. This will lead to a high recurring cost. We calculated out your recurring costs by about an average of 2,500 orders a year. This is estimated, each order is anywhere between 10 people and 1,000 people, and you're going to fill roughly 500,000 people you're going to serve next year is what you told us. So we're going to guess that if each order costs $20 to process, then your recurring cost will be about $50,500. For Alternative 2, we went to an online source and looked into Centerbase. It's a hosting service for databases that you would have to adapt yourself. It costs roughly $4,000 in initial costs, and then it has other recurring costs such as email support and cloud services. And each technical support issue you have will also cost you more money. Moving on from Alternative 2, we'll talk about the feasibility analysis. The break-even point for all three of your options is less than a year. We found this because you make roughly $67,000 a year, and this will add an additional $67,000 per year, I'm sorry. And your ROI for all three is positive, which is good. But for alternative 2, it does seem that you're going to break even the fastest and have the highest ROI. But none of us are trained in the center-based program, so we're eliminating this option. So, which leaves the baseline ROI as the best option because it has the highest ROI, and the break-even point isn't really as important. You didn't stress that it was as important. So now I'm going to pass it over to you, Han, for risks and uncertainties.
Thank you. So the first risk we are dealing with is the late delivery work. So all of our assumptions are based on estimates. That means that we might have might have to spend some more time on some tasks. The late delivery work associated with extra cost. When the plan for this is to plan for extra time when we're dealing with some tough tasks. The second one is customizing existing software. We plan to customize some existing software to fit our clients' needs. That means we might deal with some legal issues. The original designer of the software might want us to pay for some money for using the software, and we might need to acquire some legal documents. The third one is the technical skills of our consulting team. Since we are the employees, so we need to customize the software and write some codes. When we design the software and implement it, there might be some technical issues we're dealing with and we cannot handle it. That means we either take extra time to do it or hire experts to do this for us, which means more time and more cost. So we need to consider it before we make the actual plan for this. The last one is the consistency of the client's needs. Since the duration of our project is 3 months, so the client might change her mind and add some extra requirements on this project. The plan for this is to keep good communication with our client and keep updates of our plan as soon as possible. Now I will pass to Tim.
Okay. Thank you, Han. I'm going to talk about our project standards. The first standard for our project is you have to hold a professional attitude when you're working for this project, and you should be prepared, and you should be go to the meeting on time each time. And during the meetings, you should pay attention to others and respect to others. You should finish the work by deadline, and all of the works should be checked by others and be approved by others. You have to be critical thinking when you work on that project, and you should be flexible because sometimes some emergency happens. We have to adjust our schedule, and you have to be comfortable to obey the new assignment. And then I'm going to talk about our procedures. We're going to have weekly meetings at each Friday afternoon. We are going to communicate to our project managers. You can talk about your problems that you may face or something that you achieved in the last week, and the project manager should give you some new tasks for the coming week. And we're going to have group meetings if needed. When you need to seek some help for others, you can have a group meeting, and each individual is responsible to set your own daily working goal at the beginning of the day, and you should check your work to see how much of the goal that you have accomplished before the day ends. And we are going to report to the customers when we have some milestones done, and we also have some compensations for emergency. So for summary, we have talked about, we give the introduction to the organization, we talked about objective and scope, we talked about baseline and some alternatives, we give the risks and the uncertainties, and we talk about standards and the procedures. We are really looking forward to working with you, and if you have any questions, please let us know. Thank you.